Let's take a look at how to add vignette in Photoshop. So when you open a photo in Photoshop, it comes in as the background layer, and that layer is locked. So the first thing we need to do is unlock it. Now, if you clicked and dragged or placed an image into Photoshop, that's going to come in as a smart object, and that's fine. Because what we're actually going to do with this layer, if you've just opened the image in Photoshop, is turn it into a smart object. So make sure that photo layer is selected, and then we're going to go up to Filter, down to Convert for Smart Filters. So what this will do is it will enable re-editable smart filters, which means we can apply effects and edit those effects. It's non-destructive editing. So now that we have this smart layer, which we can see that little icon right there, we're going to go up to Filter, down to Camera Raw Filter. And so in the Camera Raw Filter, you have a lot of options, but down here underneath Effects, Vignetting is one of those options. So you can go light or dark with your vignette. So if we drag to the right, it's going to brighten. If we drag to the left, it's going to darken. And then if we drop down this arrow right here, we actually have some different vignette options, so we can tweak this vignette. First is a style, highlight priority, color priority, or paint overlay. Now you can go through and click these and then tweak the settings and see what you prefer. Let's go to highlight priority first. So to talk about this, the first three options are available on all three styles. The last one's only available on highlight priority. Midpoint, like the midpoint of your vignette, you can scale in and out. You can also scale in and out, or scale the roundness of your midpoint. So how round, how square, you can make adjustments there. Then also the feathering. Do you want this to be a sharp vignette for that stylistic look, or do you want to really, really feather it out? You can make those adjustments here with the feather option. And then under highlight priority, you can allow the highlights to come through. And so you'll see some areas around here where the highlights will kind of poke through, like the grain of the image. You'll be able to see those a little bit better rather than having them being covered up by the darkness of the vignette. So kind of a nice effect to be able to add into that vignette there. Now you also have like paint overlay, which adjusts it. I mean, there's some different options here that you can make adjustments to and just see what version of this vignette you like best. Once you kind of get this tweaked, you can go click OK. That's going to apply the vignette to your photo. And then underneath this little drop down arrow to the right of your layer, you can see that we have smart filters, and Camera Raw Filter is one of those filters. So let's say you want to go back later and make adjustments to that. You can double click the Camera Raw Filter to then go in here to Effects and edit that vignette again. So this is not baked into the image. This is an editable effect. That's the power of smart objects here in Photoshop. Now the other cool thing is any layer can be a smart object. You just have to convert it like that. So if you had a shape layer, if you had just some color, or if you just wanted a vignette that is on any standard layer, you can turn them into a smart object and apply that Camera Raw Filter to have the vignette effect on your layers here in Photoshop.